Tell us about Trey Carson, that situation, and an update if you can.
The latest update is that he's not in the hospital. He was in the training room, sitting up and going home, and so he won't be, as of right now, won't be in the hospital tonight. You know, he was had feeling, and X-rays were negative, so really some precautionary measures out there. Just anytime you have something like that where a player complains of something in his neck, he was in pain out there, which, you know, at first you think that's a bad situation. That's a lot better than not having feeling or numbness or anything like that. So we'll see where he is, but all signs right now point to nothing very serious, and you know, not nearly as bad as it looked at the beginning.
Secondly, how encouraging is it to have back-to-back weeks, no matter who the opponent is, of holding someone around 100 yards rushing?
Yeah, I think you know, we're playing a lot of guys too. I think you know, anytime you're doing that, starting to get some confidence. You know, playing a lot of people, and we've been able to rotate a lot of guys the last couple games and get some energy. You know, and you know, we've gotten through the last 2 weeks without Alonzo. Which we wanted to get through tonight without Cedric and Alonzo. They probably could have played, but you know, just trying to get them through another week so that as we get back in league play, you know, we'll be, hopefully next week we'll be at full strength again.
Down front here, Sam.
What was it like to see Johnny with the 49-yard touchdown run? I know he didn't run much last week as he was nursing the shoulder, but to see him kind of cut it loose like that tonight.
Yeah, running down the middle of the field. I just watched the highlight of it, and so you know, that's good for him. You know, he's always been capable of that. I think the last couple of weeks, as you said, with him not practicing until Friday before the game, it was a different game plan for him. You know, so. You know, I thought, you know, he operated. We started uncharacteristically slow for whatever reason. You know, we're just a little bit off. The first, you know, couple series, just balls were just a little bit off, or we dropped the ball. We just weren't as sharp as we usually are. But you know, we kicked it into gear, and you know, the message was to come out in the second half and play like we did in the second quarter. And I think our guys responded both offensively and defensively.
Olin.
Coach, if I go back to Trey for just a minute, you know, we all, everybody gets concerned and everything when they're watching it happen. As a, you know, coach who's so close and has such a relationship with players, can you give us just some kind of idea or express what goes through your mind and things when you see a player hurt like that?
Well, you know, you're always worried, and you know, I try to be. Try not to think of the worst scenario whenever anything happens like that, and you know, I usually, depending on the situation, try to crack a joke, and when a guy doesn't laugh, I know it's pretty serious. So I know that's kind of strange, but you know, you feel for any player, and in that situation, whether it's yours or an opponent. I know Coach Kugler came out and you know, asked me, is he okay, or what's the situation? And he even said on the way out, he you know, he was hoping that Trey was all right, and I thought that was very, very classy on his part. So, you know, I think coaches are all the same. You're so close, you put in so much work, you're so close to these guys. They're like your family or your children, and anytime they're hurt, you know, you worry. And you know, fortunately, we've got a great medical situation here, and you know, we're always going to be on the cautious side when something happens with any injury, just to make sure, because you know, we owe it to our players to give them the best of care, and I think we do a great job of that here.
Here in the middle, KO.
Coach, with Johnny's injury, did he get a full week of practice leading up to this game?
Yes, he practiced all week.
And then we'll go Sam.
I know we seem to ask about him every week, but another seemingly good performance from Darian Claiborne. To have the kind of production from a true freshman in that role, how crucial has that been for you guys?
It's been extremely crucial. You know, when you sit there and you've got a true freshman Mike linebacker and a true freshman nose guard, you worry a little bit. You know, the opponent reads the program too, so there's no hiding that. They're going to try to figure out where they are. Those guys know that, and you know, it's been valuable. You know, with Darian going really since Arkansas, and Isaiah Golden going really the last couple of weeks, is getting a lot of playing time, and you know, like I said, that's only going to help us because, you know, they're getting better every week. And, you know, I think their confidence level is going up. And we're going to need that because, you know, we're back into league play. We've got a pretty good stretch here of three good football teams that are going to challenge not just those guys, but challenge our whole football team. But it's good that those guys have been in the fire and I think have gained a little bit more confidence at this point.
Go to the back, Daryl, and then down front.
Coach, probably a month ago we were talking about your defense and how you guys weren't getting any turnovers. In the last couple of ball games, you've been getting a lot of turnovers. Has there been something different? Have they just seen something, or have they just gotten a lot more comfortable with the situation?
I hope it's different than it was. You know, Howard Matthews got 3 interceptions in the last 2 games. So, you know, there's always been an emphasis this year on turnover ratio. We were good last week, but we gave the ball away offensively. And our defense put our defense in some bad situations, and they responded. I think the difference in tonight was that our defense got the turnovers for us, and we scored, 28?
28 off
We
turnovers.
scored 28 off of turnovers, you know, and that wasn't necessarily the case. We gave the ball right back a week ago. So, this whole thing works together, and that's why we talk about not just getting the turnovers, but the turnover ratio, us hanging on the ball, and us capitalizing on those turnovers. And you know, that's probably the biggest difference in tonight's performance defensively. It was very similar to last week's from a consistency standpoint. We had really one bad series in the first quarter, but I thought, you know, from a consistency standpoint, from start to finish, not only did we played good enough to really make some improvements, and we're consistent, but we also, with the turnovers, I thought our offense was able to capitalize on those and score points off of them, and that we're going to need that moving forward.
We'll go down front, and then Gabe, you'll wrap us up.
Coach, obviously, you know, this far in, you're hoping that your system is just, you know, flowing like it should. But with 3 games left, what is there left on your list to fix and make sure you're at peak performance through the rest of the season?
We just got to continue to be consistent, and you know, really good teams and really strong programs aren't up and down. You don't have performances that are great, and then, you know, when you look at it and say, what's going on out there? So, and you see that across the country. You know, the challenge at this point is to be consistent, remain the team that you are, and get consistent play out of whoever crosses the white lines and gets out there. And you know, we've played enough guys at this point, whether they're freshmen or newcomers or whatever, that, you know, they've been in the game enough games and enough situations at this point that they're not young anymore. You guys just ask about, you know, Darian Claiborne's been starting since Arkansas, which seems like a month ago, which it probably is. So he's playing a lot of snaps, and Isaiah Golden's playing a lot of snaps. Those guys, now it gets down to, all right, let's be consistent in our performance across the board, whether it's offense, defense, and special teams. And just like I said, our team this week, you know, we really haven't put together all 3 in one game, and you know, for 4 quarters. And I thought our defense, with the exception of one series, played very, very well tonight. You know, we come out and we block a punt, we drop a couple punts. You know, and offensively we didn't start fast for whatever reason, like we usually do, but then we picked it up. So we've still got a lot out there that I don't think, it's hard to say when we win 57-7 and say you didn't play a complete game. That's, as a coach, there's some positives there because I think our guys will understand that we can be better than we were tonight.
Last one, Gabe, to the right.
Coach, 2 picks from Howard Matthews. Last year he did the same thing, right? Was the year as the leaves started to turn brown and weather gets cold, his game picks up. Back-to-back years, are you starting to see him?
Yeah, I hope he continues. Yeah, I wish he had started the year like this. So, but hey, we'll take it right now. 3 picks in the last 2 weeks. He's coming on and like I said, it gets back to what I was talking about. We need to have that kind of consistent effort from here on out with the teams that we're about to face. Back in the league play and that's going to be critical with his leadership and a bunch of guys who've played a lot of football for us. We've got to have those types of performances out of our guys that have played football because those guys understand it. They've been in it. There's no excuse for them not to be playing at a very high level at this point, particularly the guys that are healthy. And that's the challenge for everybody right now. Because of how late this game was, I probably got to watch more football today than I've gotten to all year. And everybody's got guys beat up, guys that are out, guys are missing. We've got to have the lab hearts and the people that have been contributing. Noel Ellis has come in and helped us. There's a lot of guys on special teams, and we've got to continue that. If we want to accomplish what we want to accomplish this year, and I think our guys, Garrett Grambling, he's like I said again, for us to rush for that many yards and our line to be moved around, that's what football this time of year is about. You're lucky if you don't have those injuries, but the odds are you're going to have them. Now what? Does your level of play drop off, or do you have the guys that can meet that challenge? And I think right now we've been able to play enough guys that are confident enough to make this stretch run, for the rest of November.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.